This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools, quality tools, essential support. All right, guys, so it's Saturday and we have a problem call here at the grocery store. Things are warm. I know half the control system's not been finished yet. They started several months ago. So you can't pull it up on the computer, so we had to make the trip up here and we're gonna go see what's going on. Now, unfortunately, she made it sound like there's several areas going down, which usually means a catastrophic leak of some sort. People don't know how to drive. Just hit me, I'm in your way. So this section here has had problems multiple times. It tends to freeze up. Went through here, we've had screens getting plugged up solid. I've got airflow, that's what's disturbing. We don't have any ice there. Now this here is all on it too. Newer cases, they came out of another store. I do see some ice down here. The problem with that is it's not really on the controller yet. So they've yanked this down here. Well, to get to that, because these geniuses put it down below there. Now the nut's hidden underneath that pipe. Only way to get to that nut that's directly underneath this is to get in there with the claw wrench and get it going. Coil's clean. What's going on here? Let's go on back here and see what's going on, see what this panel's trying to say. Because they're not completely used to the system yet. Let's go up here and talk to the manager.
I don't know, it's just sections of it too. It's not even...
Yeah, they're saying 20-foot lunch meat. No, this here's okay though?
Yeah.
Not really. Let's go on up here and see what we can do. Oh, this is where we were at when they lost power. Unfortunately, like I said, they've got all these nice control systems here, but not hooked up. Yeah, those are refrigerant circuits, nothing for defrost. So this clock here, the gang clock thing, it's the last one we got. It's half set up, ready to go, but unfortunately, it's still not been done yet. And like I said, it's been months. There's something weirdo going on there. This one definitely is low. Heat reclaim's locked out, which means you don't have enough refrigerant. You gotta have at least, 10 there. Let's go over here to this. Now this one here, they actually got rid of the gang clocks. Now, back 814, this dang thing screwed me up. If I pull this back, you'll see it's at 40%. Well, it's been at 40% for a long time. I had to put a black thing across it. And we talked about a coalescent filter getting plugged up and blown apart. Well, this one happened. Once again, 814. So that was a disaster. We can look at the sight glass, which I can see refrigerant flying through kinda, but I don't know if it's really the velocity that it should be. So there's no way to know how much refrigerant you got in this. This is stuck. On this one, actually, yeah, this one here, the walk-in, this shows alarms. It's got alarms on all of it. Walk-in, grocery, they must not have this tied together somehow. Bakery walk-in's warm, 32-foot island's warm, 25-foot grocery walk-in's warm. It's making me think it's low on refrigerant. I'm not asking for a lot. It would just be nice to have a working level so you know how much refrigerant you got. Something about they couldn't find it or just something weird, I don't know. And I believe they just changed this compressor, which is not running. I don't remember if this is actually controlling it, unless the old CPC here is controlling it. The new contactor, yeah, it's not pulled in, so that one's not pulled in yet, so that one's not running. Suction pressure says 28, we have 29 there, so they must have finally got that hooked on there. Condenser, 226, let's go function, 32 enter, 203. It shows 230. Unfortunately, it's really looking like we may need to add some refrigerant to this one, possibly the other one too. Oh, we got an oil failure here. Look at that on 3. 1, 2, 3. Looks nice in the middle there to me. And it's not running. That would definitely cause some issues because as you can see, that's one of the bigger compressors. Either way, we got that one's tripped. Let's go ahead and see if we can reset it. The oil here, like I said, is freaking filthy. Oh, look at that. Now we need to know what our pressure is. It sounds like I'm just bitching, but this is the kind of crap I deal with. It's just beat to hell and you're trying to make something work. It's very frustrating. I don't know if they're controlling the fans yet either, because I don't think the fans are on this yet. I mean, they say they're on, but I'm pretty sure they're not. Here's condenser fans, no boards, no outputs are turned on from what I see, but those fans aren't really controlled by it. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of issues with the fans because they're up there right now, not really well controlled. Graph it. This all started happening earlier. Crap is, this has been going on for a while, and nothing was said, but she's not seeing it supposedly in there on her thing, which I don't know, maybe it's not hooked up yet. Would not surprise me if these screens on the oil and stuff like that are not all jacked up. There we go. All right, we're running 70 pounds of pressure. Our suction pressure is running 23. So 23 minus 73. See, it just dropped a little bit. So 33, 43, 53, 63, 73. We're at about 50 pounds. So we technically have pretty good pressure. What caused that? Is it a failing control? Who knows? We got a Centronic here that's newer. That one was just replaced, I believe. They didn't put a date on it. I know you're watching this, so I'm gonna point it out. No date on the contactor either. Not a huge deal, it's just, you know, something you ought to do. Okay, that temperature's dropping pretty good. So it is dropping, but we're gonna let that go for a bit. This one here, I'm still a little concerned about the refrigerant level on it. Medium temp was not one of their main concerns at first. Yeah, don't look back there. That needs replaced. So this sight glass is a little easier to see. You can see we got lots of bubbles going 100 mile an hour. This one sometimes would be at 10% and then come up and then go back down. A lot going on. Just trying to get a grasp on what's going on. All right, so we're up here on top. Check the condensers out. A couple fans look like it might have shut off. We're coming in hot. These do not split because they didn't put that in back when it was installed. It's going out cold. This one's not even hot enough to make the fans run. All right, I thought I replaced some contactors. Those two there are new contactors. The other ones I think were already changed. That one works. That one works. Yeah, it's a metal tool. That one works. That one. So all our fans work, that's good. They're basically being controlled off outdoor temperature. It's really a bad setup. So we know we ain't got nothing going on down here, which I didn't figure, or up here. Didn't figure it'd be the case, but I wanted to wipe it out as a possibility. This is the other one that we just looked at. The hit came on while we were down there. Don't see any burnt wires. Everything seems to be okay. Yeah, whatever. I mean, this is 32 degrees out here. It's a really nice day, actually. I would figure that would be warmer than that. So it kind of lead me down that road of, yeah, you're probably low on charge. Like I said, no level indicator to go off of. So all I got is that sight glass, and I've got sight glasses that flash all the time that work just fine because of how some of these racks are constructed. I don't know why it does it, but they just do. And I've been told it's not a big deal, which that's being told to me people that work here forever. Oil-wise, we're looking a little shoddy there. Trying to start checking pressure differentials. Max was 13 on this one. None of the other ones had oil issues, and none of them seem to be low. Now this small one here, that oil level's way high. I don't know why. We've already taken 2 of them out of alarm already. Come back over here to the medium temp here. I went ahead and went into the one that was alarming at 38, put it up to 43 with a 1-hour delay. So here's deli cooler, expanded info. It was at 45, limit exceeded 46, so that one's already set up pretty high. None of this is tuned in yet, so you really, and honestly, all these set points mean nothing. You can't do anything with those set points. Why? Because you have a sort valves back here doing all the controlling. There is no liquid solenoids on any of this. So the point is try to maintain a certain saturated suction temperature. That way it's steady temperature across the board. The only time this thing is de-energized or energized is when it's going into a hot gas defrost, which we only have 2 of them here, which is right here and here, which is 10 and 9. The rest of them are all timed off defrost. So when you want to remotely adjust it, you can't. Now this one has hot gas defrost on pretty much every circuit all the way across. Some of them have just regular suction stops. And then you have the actual sort valves, but honestly, since it's running low temp, half the time it's cranked down anyway. There's your fan cycle control. It's very primitive, but that's what they had at the time. Then you have your heat reclaim valve here. This is going to go to the hot water heater. Comes up and goes over to there. All right, we're gonna pull that off. Let's check, see what our pressure is here. This is after the coalescent filter, which is an oil separator that has a filter media in it. 235 is what we're running right there. That leaks a little bit. All right, so we're 237 right here. 235, so 235. Over here we are 230. So we really don't have any pressure drop at all. Usually these gauges have been pretty accurate. Well, we got about 200 now, so must have shut a compressor off. So we got 205 there, and I was reading higher over there with that same gauge, and we got 202 here. So it's still, once again, swapping them back and forth. See what I'm saying? It's measuring the same. Now, I would figure if we had blow-by going on, we would be pretty hot down here in the bottom. It's warm, but I would say probably 110. Suction coming back is not, you know, it's cold, but we're back here. The motor's fine. Get to the sump pump. That's not bad there. You can do this with a thermal camera. Go to the front. It's not too bad. All right, so we came back over here and looked at this one. We had an oil failure on one, which now has just disappeared. So it came back again. Oil failure on one. We do at least have 10% now. It does not feel like it's running. Let's go ahead and check that contactor. No, it is not, but it's not calling for it either. That was an oil failure. That's great. So now we get to dink with that. Sweet! Lots of work to do. This is down to 55 PSI. All right, finally got one of the Vito bags here for carrying all my goodies in here. This is the CTXL. TruTech Tools, got it. I had my own strap already, which kind of came in handy, but look at this. I was able to carry my oil up here. Got two of those, because one was half full. So I got that. I got my funnel if I need it. This thing can form into anything. Just got some jumbo wrenches, which, you know, come in handy. Getting that out of there. I didn't have to grab my big socket, and I got my pump and stuff. All this crap fit in there. Along with my cleaner, rags, and some gloves, because everybody seems to always give me crap for not having the gloves. Let's go ahead and get this screen checked out. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this one down. Since it's not on the rack, I mean, we literally could just kill the compressor. As simple as that right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and valve this thing off, then we're gonna take the refrigerant, get it back into the rack, valve it off, get the rest of the pressure off of it, and do our thing here. I'm going to try to make this go super quick here, because this is gonna be a real long ass video otherwise. And since most of you don't watch the whole thing as it is, and most of you don't subscribe, do me a favor and subscribe. That way you get in with the notifications, so you guys will know when I release these videos. Obviously the rack stuff's a little newer for me. I've done it for a while, but never quite a bunch of it. So you're gonna see me take a little longer. You're gonna see me, you know, do a lot of things, possibly miss a few things. It's just the way it is when you're learning, and I'm taking you along for the ride, basically. It was 7:30 seconds for that oil pot, so it's closed now. Now we can go ahead, I got the gauges too. Hey Joe Shear, there's your gauges. So we'll go ahead and get that on there. Now we're gonna front seat it. That's going to push that stem up to here, and it's gonna block the other compressors from getting into this compressor. It's gonna leave you access into the actual compressor itself. Oh, as usual guys, TruTech Tools, promo code survival, save 8% on just about everything. So check them out, TruTechTools.com. I also got some other new toys that I'll be showing off here for long too. That is one of the bigger wrenches from Yellow Jacket. This one is the 60618. It's definitely bigger than the normal one. So now we've got refrigerant on both those. We're gonna close both these gauges here. We're gonna bleed these hoses out. Do a little bit there on that, a little bit on that. Now we'll just dump this into the suction port up here. So we'll bleed one more time up to there. Get all that bled out. That one's pretty much as far as it's gonna go. Here we can get the high side in there. Now by the book, yeah, grab your recovery machine and pump it into the rack. So we're just about down to 2 PSI there. This is a funnel And I probably could put a link down in there below. You can make this into anything you want, any shape you want, whatever, which is awesome. I use it for generators. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just drain it out. I don't really care, this oil looks like crap anyway. So we're just gonna put some new in there anyway. Like I said, I'm not really caring one way or the other, whether I save it all or not. We'll just put new in. There goes the oil. Wow, there's all kinds of nasty crap coming out. Okay, here comes the spring. There's that. Get in there, see if we can get the, there's the oil screen. There's that. We can slam this shut back again. Wasn't real smart to put the controls right underneath the oil. So here's that screen, guys. Look how bad that thing looks. That thing is wretched. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Look how bad that looked. That is, I mean, there's shavings and crap in that. Like I said, this is a dirty rack. I've had screens plugging up on the TXVs left and right. There's also another device inside there that we can get out of there. Let's go ahead and get this part cleaned up. What I'll do, we're gonna use brake cleaner. It evaporates very quickly. Oh, you can actually see through it now. Look at that. Huh. Imagine that. Yeah, these are the sort of things that would be nice if they were done on a maintenance instead of on a Saturday. That looks a lot better. I'm gonna see if I can get that other screen thing in there. We may have to hook it with either a screwdriver or a hook tool. Yeah, that was what was slowing it down a little bit. I wanted to check it just to make sure it was okay. Yeah, it's got some shavings there in it. Wow, that ain't good. Now what sucks is that nasty crap is why these filters are plugging up. So this thing here goes in like that. See how that is? Myself personally, I would have thought you'd want it like that so it keeps it from sucking crap off the bottom. Let's go ahead and get this thing back in there. This is gonna be difficult. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, it's coming out 10 times faster than it went in. There's the spring behind it. Oh, it's not going down into the bucket. That's great. Hell, I might as well just let it drain out now. We're just gonna empty it out. At this point, we're just emptying it. Yep, screw it. We're just gonna empty this bad boy out. Yeah, I was trying to be clean about it. There's that magnet. There we go, got the magnet cleaned off. But guys, we definitely found a problem there. Unfortunately, I mean, we made a little bit of a mess here. It happens. I'm gonna get some cat litter from the shelf down there, and we'll throw that on there and we'll get that crap picked up. Suction pressure, it ain't like it's blasting out of their discharge. Very easy, 1 3/8 Pittsburgh, cheap. Whole set all the way up to 2 inches, I think was 70 bucks. Well, we know we're on the right track now. Now we got to pull a vacuum on it. So we got some cat litter. Talked to the manager, got that. Also got some paper towels to help clean some of this up. Just got to tell them usually and they'll take it out of inventory. Nothing's quick. No, just clean the flame sensor and out the door you go, or change a dirty filter. Nothing's quick. The reason why we looked at so many things when we were doing this is I just know how many things are wrong here. That's why I went through and just checked everything. Condensers, cases, evaporators, all that. Not going for any stupid micron ratings or nothing like that. We're just getting her into a vacuum, and then we're gonna let that refrigerant fly. I guess we're gonna go ahead and test out this float deal here. I'd like to take it apart and clean it, but man, we're not doing it today. We just got done pulling our vacuum on it. Get this thing opened back up. I'm gonna see if it can fill it up off the oil return, and then we're gonna add oil into the oil reservoir up there. Okay, we're opening up the discharge. My suction's not coming up, which is a good thing. It tells me it's not leaking through the valve plate at least. So you got high pressure coming in here, suction pressure here. This is going out to the compressors through the filter. Theoretically, we could probably push right through here. We could also check at our pressure drop across that thing. I'm surprised that ain't plugged up. I don't have any of those on the truck. we got a nice solid stream there. So now we should be able to start adding. Just to bleed that last bit out. There we go. Now we should be able to pump this in there. All right, you can see right there that the oil is up again, almost the halfway point. Maybe a little over a third. There's the gauge. We're gonna flip it on right here. There we go. See if it, whoop, there it goes, up 65. Anyhow, continue pumping this one in. We're not quite there yet. You can see that it's nothing in that bottom. You can see a little bit laying on one side and the other. I know you're wondering, is it gonna work? Yeah, there's no check valve here. There's a 20-pound usually. I think it's 20. That's what most of them I've had on all of them. There's a 20-pound check here. They use to help reduce the pressure. So our ball is all the way at the top there. That's good because I'm gonna lose some oil on this one and I only have 1 more gallon left. And I'm on call all day tomorrow yet, so I don't wanna screw myself. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect like that, which is why I kinda did it. There we go. No oil lossage or anything like that. Yep, about half a gallon's what we have in there now. Not too bad a mess. We'll wipe up what we got here. It ain't that big a deal. Got everything cleaned up over there into that bag, so everything got swept up. I went ahead and shut this down again so that the pressure would drop, which we're down to rack pressure, 25-ish area. That'll allow me to go ahead and spin this off and not get blasted with oil. There we go, not bad. That cap's junk on the discharge, so we're not gonna mess with that. Oil level's still about third there. Don't see anything leaking out of the bottom here, so we're good on that. All these sight glasses are full. I'm sure they're probably dirty. My plan is to come back and change this for sure, possibly change that, and we'll recheck oil. Like, look, the oil already has dropped back down again. I can't waste my last gallon on this thing when it has got more than what it had when I first started, even after I drained it. Because if I have another call somewhere else, I'll be screwed, and then I'd have to go all the way back to the shop or something to go get oil, and I'm not doing that. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing here with this. I know you're wondering, why ain't you checking the oil pressure first? So let's go ahead and check it real fast. There's 80 something, 78. At least we know it's pumping. I still don't feel safe with it the way it is because it's triggering for some reason, and really ain't nothing else I can do besides check it and clean it. Now what I'm gonna do on this one, I'm gonna wipe this bowl out really good. I can reuse the oil if I need to. I mean, honestly, this rack could use a complete oil change. Got this last bit here. Got her down to 0. I'd say somebody tightened that way tighter than it needed to be. That looks like crap. Maybe it'll all fit in there, maybe it won't, but my thing is I don't want to find out. And the same thing. Got a spring there. We might as well let it go right into that container there. Not too overly impressed. I feel something in there, but I don't feel like there's a screen in there. We got 2 different hooks. They don't seem to be working very good. There we go. Good, it does have a screen. And it looks a little crappy, but not horrible. Otherwise, it all looks pretty normal back in there, not horrible. It might be more crap in there than what it looks. It may be a little worse than it looks. Heck yeah, it might be. There's that screen pickup on the bottom. So yeah, that's only pulling off the very bottom. All that top stuff is nothing in there. That is only on the very, very bottom that's getting anything. So that's what it is. It goes straight in, drops down. That's why it didn't come out very easy. So yeah, that bottom was kind of shitty. Shitty, shitty, bang, bang. Yeah, the oil didn't look horrible. We may just reuse a good portion of that. I am not too horribly worried about it. I didn't see a bunch of chunks and stuff like we had in the other one. Like I said, the things are at the bottom. Go in just like that and go all the way back. There you go. And then I can feel straight up in the top here. I can feel a hole. That must get sucked up air right here to the oil pump. That holds that in place. don't really have a magnet or nothing on it, so definitely not as concerned about doing a lot of save the compressor work here on this one, that's for sure. May not use a cat litter this time. It's kind of more of a miss than what it was worth. I think best time for it's when you can't get back behind her. I just roll that back up like that, and we'll put it back on the truck, and it sits up there on the shelf. Now we can shoot that in back here on this low pressure switch cut out. We'll just shoot it in there and get it pumped in that way. That oil is exposed to the atmosphere just a little bit. Honestly, it's not going to hurt anything for the short duration that we're at here. Let's go ahead and purge this through. There we go. Got a little mess here. We'll get her cleaned up. Not a big deal. Got a little tear in my glove there. Like I said, then we'll pull a vacuum on this thing. Get all the air out of it. We got everything evacuated. Caps are back on. Got to tighten them yet. But we're going to go ahead and turn this compressor back on. The fan's coming on. We'll give it a sec. We'll see what our oil pressure comes up to here. All right, guys. So we are completely out of an alarm on this. What I had to do is add some refrigerant, just like I figured. What sucks is I have no clue how much is in our receiver there. All you can kind of do is base it off how many fans are running, what's your discharge pressure compared to outdoor ambient, you know, kind of real primitive. Walk-in is now at 9. That thing was up there, I think, at 18 earlier. You can see she's on the downward spike down. We now, you know, are not tripping out on oil failure on one of our large compressors here. That was majority between that and being low on refrigerant. Like I said, I'm going to do a quick scan of the store to make sure it's not a catastrophic leak, and we're going to just deal with it when we're off overtime. This one here is pulled in but not running. That's nice. So this compressor's got issues for some reason. That's probably why it's tripping out on freaking oil. I pushed it in, or I made it run earlier. I went ahead and killed a couple compressors and only had this one on, and I had 105 discharge, and I had, I think it was 55 or 60 on the rack. So we were at least 45 plus on that. When I checked it earlier, my contactor had voltage across it, no voltage drop. We may have a crap contactor, maybe we're single phasing. There is no single phasing on the individuals, but we do have it on, there's phase protection in here somewhere. Here, there it goes. So there, it's running 25 amps. Here is our pressure, like I said, 105. We're about 100 right now. We'll go ahead and kill that. You can throttle your ball valve so you don't destroy your needle. And we're 65 there, so 75, 85, 75, 85, 95, 105, that's 40 pounds. So we're 40, 45 pounds. So we are fine on that, good enough for tonight. I got to finish dumping some refrigerant into this one here. I ended up dumping a little chunk into this one. It went a little bit more than what I was anticipating. It's in there now, and honestly, the sight glass still ain't even close to being full. But as you can see, the temperatures are coming down pretty good. I guarantee you I could take every one of these compressors apart and probably get the same crap out of each one of them. We're still adding some here, and then see, we just got an oil failure. I think it's because this thing's not always starting. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Go ahead and take a look here at this contactor and see if it's all burned up. If it is, that very well could be what's going on. Oh geez. Yeah, it looks pretty ratty. Oh my gosh, look at that contactor. Holy dog poop. Can you see that crap right there? That leg, third leg right there? That baby is jacked to the maximus. That baby is toasty critters. Although we had an oil failure, what's happening is, depending on how the proof switches are done, which this here doesn't even have a proof switch, some of the other ones do. You have some here that had it, hell, I don't know. Basically, it knows that it's got partial power, so it's probably been single phasing. Unbelievable. I mean, this is crap that, you know, you catch during your PMs and stuff. Nothing, 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 nothing. Okay, she's dead, so we're clear for takeoff. Now, what you gotta watch out for, these freaking control wires down here on bottom. So one leg will usually always be hot. So there's 120 on that one, and between them, nothing. So when we do it, we gotta be careful that we don't touch the one leg, or you have to shut the whole flipping thing down, and I don't like doing that if I don't need to. Just to make sure, we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3. These don't care, but you know, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but one less thing to worry about. That one. And that. Now, like I said, that coil is live, so we want to be careful about that. We got to put that on bottom like that right there. There we go. Not going nowhere. We've got everything tightened here and tightened at the bottom of the breaker. These are all in nice and good and tight. Now we're going to go ahead and take these off, make sure there's no spare wires kind of flopping around that we're going to run our fingers into. Right there, which give a little tug, make sure it ain't going to come off. There we go. Get a little tug. Good to go on that. 2, 24, 24. Now, let's see if that makes a difference. Then turn that on, back up. Let's go ahead and see if we can't shut some of these other ones off. I don't have any control voltage to it. Here, I wonder if this thing's been going off on thermal. Very well might have been if it was single phasing like it appears it was. It's kind of warm back here. Yeah, these are cold. Yeah, this bad boy's been overheating. Well, let's go ahead and turn some of these other ones back on. Unfortunately, I ain't got all night to fiddle fart with it, but like I said, this thing's jacks to the Maximus. I think it's a little wore out there. Yeah. I think it's just slightly wore. Yeah, well, what I did is I went and got a bag. They already had their own junk in here, but my crap's inside of this one, so it can be thrown away separately. Okay, we're at 20%. I'm gonna stop now. Arm clear. B, I'm just wiping it out. There's so much bull crap going on, it's just a mess. This is gonna need some more oil when I come back. I'm gonna bring some of that, and definitely gonna change that. How we doing down here? Yeah, see, you got like a little river running down there. You can see it going, whee! It's, that's what I usually see. I never see a perfectly full one like you do on a regular walk-in or like a smaller. Never see that. All right, guys, so where we're at now, we're still fluctuating between 10%. Every now and again, depending on whether it's in a defrost or not, it may go up to 20, or depending on how many compressors are calling. Like right now it says 3, but yet we're not pulling 3 in, we're only pulling in 1. And if you look at it, it's 1 and 2, but yet 2's not pulling in here. So I don't know what's been calling. I mean, you look here and technically only that one there is calling, and that's the one that's running. Now some of these lights are wore out. You can't count on them. I also checked our defrosts over here. Clock's running. I replaced that back in 2020. Our coupler here, which has broke multiple times, is fine. It appears everything's tracking like it's supposed to. So, you know, that it's going to be nice when that gets on the rack like it's like a normal system would be. This one here is down to temp. This one has been doing fairly decent for a while. Everything's running, things are cleaned up, and this hasn't gone back into an alarm. Set points now, walk-ins at 10, that was even lower earlier. All right, we're gonna do a real quick scan over. We're looking for catastrophic leaks. It's gonna cause it to leak out overnight. So we're not gonna go slow and all that. We're literally just catastrophic. As you can see, these are some pretty bad shape units. Not a real surprise, but I got something in here. We'll just put a big check mark there. I think I made a short on these. Generally, when you have leaks, in these cases, it traps it in, doesn't go anywhere. All right, so right here's a leak, and somewhere in this right here, yeah, look at that. This is your medium temp rack. It's 813. We'll narrow it down. I put a leak up here. That way we know. This is your deli. I mean, this crap always leaks. How much money do you want to spend? It's like a never-ending story. How much do you want to spend? So, yeah, those are all leaking. No surprise. Okay. Generally, this thing will find it even in the air band. You don't have to usually go stupid slow. Any leak that's going to be a 100-pound type thing, you know, and 100 pounds is over a couple months, but still, the problem is it's got to be taken care of. It's too expensive. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing with notifications. This video is going to get edited quite a bit heavily, I'm sure, because it's going to be long, and to keep things moving along, I've got to cut things out, so don't assume anything happened one way or the other. If you got a question, ask it down below, but that's the day in the life of a refrigeration technician, especially on the racks. Nothing's quick, nothing's easy. I mean, I'll get better as I get more years into it. You know, 28 years, 29 years I've been doing it, but racks I've only been doing for about 2 years, maybe something like that, and I've only got to really play with them more and more probably in the last year, year and a half, and I don't see them every day. I might see them once a week, and then, you know, it might be 2 of them, 3 of them in a week, and then it might be 2 weeks off. So unfortunately, as you see in my videos, I do too many different things, constantly changing, non-stop, which keeps it a good variety and things moving along. But there's so many times when I'm doing other things that just aren't polishing my skills, and that's what slows you down, is when you're not doing it on a routine basis. So anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.